Joining me now is the newly appointed Sydney FC coach, John Kosmina. Now, John, are you excited about the new position?
Yeah, 100%. It's great. It's great to be back on the coalface again after a short hiatus, I guess, for want of a better description. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I said during the press conference, it's the biggest club a big club in the biggest city in Australia, and we've got a responsibility to be successful to, I guess, the soccer public, or the football public of Australia, not to mention our fans.
Did the call-up come as a surprise?
Yeah, it did. I was actually out buying outdoor furniture for a new deck I've just built at home, so I won't get to use it. It's going to be delivered later this week, and I won't be there to sit on the chairs. So look, it did come as a surprise, but it wasn't a hard decision. As I said, I practically said yes before Andrew even finished saying hello. And for me, it's a great honour to be here and a privilege, because it's the inaugural champions of the league. It would be nice to be back there again.
And Andrew said you're a new, sensitive, new age guy. How have you changed from your times coaching at Adelaide to now when you take on the reins?
No, look, I haven't changed a lot, to be honest. I had the occasional outburst, but most of the time I was fairly docile. I probably learned to temper my emotions. I take the emotional side out of it. Look, after 12 years, I was probably under a little bit more stress than I realised at the time. And to actually make the grand final, and that last day against Newcastle in the prelim final was just overwhelming. So maybe my emotions got out of control, but I've certainly learned how to keep them in check now.
And a lot of pressure, though, trying to get Sydney back on the winners list?
Well, that's part of it. I think the players in the team are winners. I look at the guys that are there, the experience that's in that squad, and they're guys that have been successful, both here in Australia and, overseas. You've got a guy that won a World Cup. You can't ask for much more than that. You've got Tony Popovich and Steve Corica and Wolfie Talle and Davis Drilic that have all had successful careers in Europe. You've had Clint Bolton that's won premierships in the old NSL and championships. So it's not like they don't know how to win. They probably just lost their way a little bit for whatever reason. I guess it's part of my job to be able to maybe guide them back onto the right path.
And what are your short-term goals?
To get into the finals. That's pure and simple. And to do that, we need to start winning games. And we've got 12 games, which isn't a lot, but there's a little bit of breathing space. But I think we've just got to find out how to win games again.
And does that mean changing the structure of the team?
No, players are players. The squad I've got is what's there. I can't change that. There might be a few changes I make. I don't know what they've been doing for the last 6 months. I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know what their training program's been. I don't know what their fitness regime has been, or the conditioning regime. I'll have a look at all of that and maybe implement some changes. Maybe not. It might be good. I don't know. We'll wait and see.
And how do you think the players are going to respond to having their new coach sit up in the grandstands during the first 4 games? Well,
given the reputation that a lot of people seem to think I have, people only focus on negatives sometimes, which is a bit disappointing. But look, I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. Without being flippant, it might be good, because basically I don't know this team. I know the blokes. I know a lot of them personally, but not in a coach-player relationship. So for me, as I said in the presser, I tend to work on my gut feel a fair bit and intuition, and maybe sitting on the bench, it might be a little bit too close to the action. So that'll give me a good chance to actually sit back and observe, because I haven't got time between now and the game on Sunday to do it any other way. So it's probably a blessing in disguise.
And if Sydney FC don't make the final, are you scared then you're going to be dismissed and given the flick?
No, not at all. Part of coaching is losing your job, I guess. It's going to finish. Not many guys coach forever. Sir Alex Ferguson, for example, at United, he was nearly out the door 2 years into his job, and he's now 20 years later, he's still there, and he's got a knighthood as well. Generally, coaching's the one sure thing is that you're not going to do it at the same club forever. Someone's either going to get rid of you. Not many coaches actually leave on their own terms, but I think I've got enough experience now to be able to say confidently that I'd like to be able to leave this club on my own terms.